you know what I'm saying holds weight. For example, if let's go on a holiday at Cape Town, you're gonna feel like I'm being unfair. But if I go with my rich friends to Cape Town, you will still feel like I'm being unfair.
There's no win.
There's no win for a person who has money. If I'm suggesting something that requires money to be spent, you're gonna feel like I have money. Why don't I pay for you to go on that Cape Town trip? But then if I'm paying for my whole social circle that I grew up with, how much am I spending? So for example,
no, true.
Because
it does.
Those the same people that don't want to leave, it's the same people that, as long as they still have money, they want to buy.
Yeah.
As long as you still have money, you still want to buy. You at the time you can't even think straight.
That's so true.
You don't even have money. To go
There's
to
this
work.
guy-
You're literally
There's
painting
this
a
guy-
picture where you're saying, you are a cocktail person. Mara, you're getting told by a nigga saying, that time when you're drinking a cocktail, you're drinking more percentage in alcohol
Than
volume
the beer.
than the fucking beer. You get what? You know cocktails. Take Long Island for instance. Long Island, bro, you only need 3 glasses of Long Island and you are fucking gone. You are gone. That's literally equivalent to maybe, I can safely say,
6 bottles.
2 6-packs of beer.
Sure.
Okay, on top. 2 6-packs of beer, or even maybe 18.
For me,
That's true, because one thing I know about the Kenza and gangsters and the Tsotsi, they didn't just start after high school. Those niggas, they started stealing from small things. Mutu ili teenager na li 10. And then khwaya mutu thing asarobala kontlung maruna li 14.
sure.
Khwaya again, like you hear the stories from the people like Godin Tones and Agenda Network.
Sure.
Mutu au chayela khore no benchoncha we're starting shoplifting. From shoplifting ngahlangana nezinye ezispin ikara ngantshontsha ikara. Ngabona ukuthi lesi sizenza kancane ngahlangana nezinye eshama heist ngangena ama heistini sengidla ama million.
It starts
So
small.
you can't just start from stealing cars when you didn't start with the other stuff.
Yeah.
You're shy king.
Because I remember
Can friendship survive if one friend becomes significantly richer or more successful than the other?
It can, if the other one is not jealous.
if I get it out of if they're not,
If
they don't have
I'm
malicious
a rich
intent.
friend and I'm not bragging, and you're still my friend, and like I've made it, even though I can't really lift you up to where I am, but I'll always give you opportunities and say, Ndwana, you know what? There's someone who on not interest so kinano rupa interest so so. I'm that kind of a friend, so the friendship can survive.
You know,
if I'm
who
not
put
bragging.
and also feel that diploma. Just talk about groove
Exactly.
and
I
more
want to a positive.
and you want to talk about investments and making more money. It's not that you don't or you don't love them
Yeah, the
anymore,
conversations are just
but
different.
they're not leading you anywhere.
Yeah.
And you can't take that conversations and take them to people of your same social circle, or you can't bring your friends that you grew up with and you bring the friends that are in your same stature and bring them together. Abantu who can't tell you what. The one will actually degrade you, and Baba Mbato Shebela Fati ba bona go ituploma le bo mang.
I think
I've seen a lot of brilliant cats, brilliant guys, like people who have gone too far. It's like geniuses who are literally geniuses. They've got the degrees, they've got everything to put them in the best job and have their fucking careers or their lives ignite. However, that just does not materialize. And it's just unfortunate because you don't know what is the block. So it's more of that thing. You're already thinking that person is currently, when you look at him, you look cleaner than them, you probably present yourself better than them, simply because of just maybe how clean you look, how you present yourself, how you might maybe also just talk. But they've got bigger, larger knowledge.
Can I ask this
you
question?
do.
It
Lesego.
Ngitshela ngathike ukudaba. Hlezi udaki. Udakiwe man. Stakwa njini?
Ukoloko. Labantwana.
Labantwana abafazi yena kamnandi.
Yo koloko fana chirama. Labantwana fana. Ukoloko. Labantwana.
And you do know this is Ukoloko, okay? By the way.
It's alcohol.
No, like spirits. Koloko is spirits.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not just generally alcohol.
No. Beer is not Koloko. Koloko is something hot stuff.
Really? Fuck, I didn't know that. I thought like fucking alcohol. I'm taught.
I thought so too.
Ukoloko mfana wachiga kamnandi. Labantwana mfana wachiga kamnandi. Ukoloko mfana wachiga kamnandi. Labantwana mfana wachiga kamnandi. Ukoloko. Do. Labantwana. Gaipiti lwena boss. All right, GLL.
Oh my god.
Ukoloko.
Yeah, Ukoloko ngenile. Right, Global Streetz Live. Welcome. You guys didn't fix my shit. These guys are sabotaging. Sabotage.
Bro, that's your mic.
Somebody moved it. Somewhere along the way, somebody moved it. But anyway, Global Streetz Live. Welcome to it. My name is Witty. I'm still struggling with this mic. I don't even know which side I'm fucking turn it to.
Bro, but that's like a mic again.
But the kupugi, sir.
You know the toe, motherfucker.
And I'm afraid to like wind it in the wrong direction and then it just fucks up. Like the last one did.
Of course.
But anyway, thank you for tuning in. I got my boys, I got my girl, I got, the street squad on this show. Lesego, Huiti, Kagiso,
Yeah.
Newo. We are doing the best. And I want to check up on everybody else that is wanting to tell us how they feel. Newo, I'm going to start with you. How do you feel?
I feel great.
Feel good?
Feel good, yes. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's great. That's beautiful.
Like
Kagiso?
always.
I'm good, my boy.
Are you good?
Yeah.
That's the spirit. That is the spirit. We're going heavy on this show. I saw there's a few topics that we're going to be talking about that are pretty interesting. And I would love to see some comments in the comment section on how the Street Squad really feels about what we talk about. I need a little bit of engagement. And feel free to comment. Tell us how you feel.
And one of the topics is something you're singing about.
How do you feel, my dog?
Abantwana.
I'm not cheering, I'm not. You want to start with that? Okay, let's start about Ukoloko. What does it say?
So, are you a pre-drinks or a third location type of person?
Sorry, am I a?
Pre-drinks
Pre-drinks, okay.
or a third location type of person?
Definitely pre-drinks. Third location is crazy.
And there are people that
Maybe
actually do
second
that.
location, not third.
No, there's people that actually do it. There's people that just don't want to go home.
Yeah. This guy.
Sky Makata.
How do I now?
Who exposed you no etsang no?
Ning.
No.
Know what you talk about, pal. But anyway. No, honestly speaking, I'm a pre-drink person. But I'm always, okay, not always drinking, but if the day says you're going to be going out, then I'd rather start it in my comfort zone before actually going out there and just doing anything else. So definitely a pre-drink type of person.
Do you get to the third location?
And get to
Huiti, of course.
So you do both?
do everything, baby girl. I literally came back from Groove at 6 o'clock. Like we last said, the right time to... I practice what I fucking preach, motherfucker. So do not test me. But yeah, that's standard. You know right now, Ray. If we're going to go to Groove, let's go to Groove. Let's Groove. Let's do what we have to do.
I think third location comes when like everybody is lit and then they'd make that decision right there and there. Because
Yeah.
usually people feel like a second location, but third location is like third location. Yeah.
Because the other day when I had gone out, I think it was more of, so a friend of mine invited me to like after party type of wedding situation, and then after the wedding we went to Kofifi, and then after Kofifi we went to like Extreme Lounge.
So when we are going to play into hectic as a last
Yo,
location.
bruh, like Extreme Lounge literally closes at like fucking 7 o'clock, dog.
So we're not third location, Handler. We're not third location.
Gee, can I sang hula pen?
Because I refuse to go third location unless you're really pushing it.
Yeah, but like we said last time already, gang, we're gonna the perfect time to really come back from group is like 6 o'clock. So yeah, man. Sometimes you really feel like we're taking fit to Axo be satisfied. And let's go.
So the whole night, you're not satisfied the whole night.
Well, you see the thing is, nah, you get in the mood, and then the mood gets on like this other level where you're like, okay, it's again there. Now we need to do our best. You get what I mean? And then you just get into it. And everything else that comes after that is like, okay, it's automatic. It's not that thing you're forcing to go to the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th location type of vibe. It's just that thing you're already thinking. Now it's that thing, okay, chance, you know? And it's that thing that I must go back. Se replenish. Must replenish. Se replenish. And let's go.
Is it a matter of when you get to a certain place and let's say maybe Plekeria Kuala by 2 o'clock, right? And by the time Kuala, you thought you would be somewhere else in terms of level of
drunk
enjoyment.
Yeah.
You feel like Kuala also fitly there.
Yeah.
Then it needs to
Continue.
it needs to continue up until you feel
you're
like
satisfied.
you know
Yeah.
what?
True.
Yeah.
I think it's because of that. It's not that thing, you just want to gallivant and just go everywhere. It's more of, okay, I probably got here too late. A lot of people got at this joint at like maybe 6 o'clock in the evening. Now only got here at like maybe 10 o'clock on time. So I'm playing catch up. By the time they close, I'm literally now on that. Even though I started at home obviously you're just sipping. You know what? How fit down now? There's music, there's atmosphere, there's, you know what I mean? Now you're drinking more. You know what?
So on that note, nah. It's a good look. On that note, yeah. Now I remember my question. On that note, do you ever raise the white flag?
What is the white
If
flag?
also toti like plug away batlang, if so we toti, do you ever say, you know what? I'm enough. Kafai no can clue.
Yeah.
He does actually.
Yeah.
2 times this guy left me at Groove.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Were you surprised when he left?
So
I was
groovist?
supposed to
who's a real groovist?
2 times this nigga left me.
Yeah.
And he's requesting first and he's like, I'm out.
Mare, yeah. No, but you do get to that level where you're like, I wait thinking, I'm good for the night. I've had my fun. I'm happy. Let me bounce. Because you also don't want to be like a problem.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Because that's what leads people to become problems. When you are out with your friends, now you become a liability. Now it's time to roach out there. No,
We're shopping you eat.
Forces that thing. This nigga's out. Anton. We don't need to get to that point. You learn as a person, you know your level to say, we think it's a good leader. No, it's time to bounce. Thank you.
But there's just some people that they don't raise that white flag, and that's why liba kuka liba kinya ko dikoloi because ba forced and so okay wa bona gore ke fitlile I'm late but since ana ba tlotlobeka.
True. Unfortunately, that's just fun. Fun is very difficult to just let go of. You know, people always want to just have a good time.
Besides fun, people must know their limits. It's not only alcohol. Maybe you can drink 6-pack and I can drink 2 bottles.
True. Exactly.
I never could compete alone, Nacho.
Exactly. But people don't look. But that's the thing. Imagine, Yanung, you're my friend. I've got like a weaker alcohol intolerance. Do you get what I mean? Or tolerance. And then is that thing you're okay? I'm like, I'm at my boy Kagiso, bro. I have to keep up. Regardless of what Kagiso does, I have to be there up until tot. You know what I mean? And then you've got a higher tolerance and you are taking it easy. Now on the other side, I'm like, yo, I want to be there still. You know, I can't let go. I still want to be there. I want to be with my boy. I want to be with the people. I don't want to miss out. It's that whole thing, Yaring. There's that whole syndrome, Yari. I can't remember the abbreviation to it. Like
peer pressure.
Yeah. I feel like there's a certain level of pressure. Go groove once you're there. I don't want to be. I don't want to seem like that
but
person.
But why you an adult and still have peer pressure groove?
I don't know.
You know the other thing.
We're still young, bro. I'm talking about like 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds that are literally sitting and be like, we're thinking, I can't wait for the next groove section. I want to be there and I cannot miss out.
Just to derive a bit off topic, like for example, there's certain beverages. Even when I'm sober, it makes me vomit.
Yeah,
I can't take them at all.
Exactly.
And for example, beer. When a cocktail or you drinking cider or other than that, I'm just a spirit type of person, like your whiskeys, your gins, your vodkas. I beer came out, and I can't. Like just literally a bottle, I will just vomit. I do only milling beer. So you just don't about to buy peer pressure as old as you are in jail about to compete. But
because it's only there's certain people have. I think all of us have witnessed those type of people where motutla otlare ai ke go rekela tafole kaofela alcohol a tseba gantlo hana chelete. So there's a thing that pressure ya go groove. I don't know it's okay and for what, and I feel like there's no reason. We're all adults.
There's no need for that.
There's no need.
And you're right. And it also goes. Yeah, sorry.
I'm not sure it groove.
No, true.
Because
it does.
Those the same people that don't want to leave. It's the same people that, as long as they still have money, they want to buy.
Yeah.
As long as you still have money, you still want to buy. And you at the time you can't even think straight.
That's so true.
You don't even have money. To go
there's
to
this
work.
guy. There's this guy. Actually, it was the first time our first paycheck when it was thing. Right, lapong. Bear in mind, we all got paid. And it was like our first job, most of us.
Amen.
That feet like a pile tafula go fair.
Amen.
So.
And
is that type of person who every month, last week of the month, I spending. I know you're spending. But first week, I is living large, bro. First week, last week, I spending. Because first week is living large. Last week, I know.
But I agree with the pressure because it just goes with brands as well. There are people that I know for a fact do not drink certain either brands or types of alcohol. But because society or their friends
culture
have painted an image about this particular brand, what do? They now want to drink that brand. And it's that thing, Yari. We know
champagne is one of them.
Because like you just said, Honano. Like Honano, you know what's fucked up? You are literally painting a picture where you're saying, you are a cocktail person. Mara, you're getting told by a nigga saying, that time when you're drinking a cocktail, you're drinking more percentage in alcohol volume
than the beer.
Than the fucking beer. You get what? You know, cocktails. Take Long Island for instance. Long Island, bro, you only need 3 glasses of Long Island and you are fucking gone. You are gone. That's literally equivalent to maybe, I can safely say,
6 bottles.
2 6-packs of beer.
Sure.
Okay, Anton. 2 6-packs of beer or even maybe 18. Because Long Island, I think it's got like a
there's
good 6
rum,
shots.
There's vodka, there's
6 shots.
There's
There's rum, gin, vodka, whiskey, brandy. Like there's literally 6 shots of spirits. Well, both white and your brown spirits on top. So meaning when as a beer drinker, you're coming to me and saying, when I'm just so put my cocktails into some mazana.
Yes.
When you are sipping one beer, now I'm sipping a glass, cocktail, which has
6-pack there.
maybe 3 times the volume that I'm having in here. Okay, or the volume that you are having in your beer. So
speaking about dating, peer pressure and all that, because I assume it will probably be your inner circle that pressurizes you, directly or indirectly. I understand. So how does one tell when, quote unquote, your friend secretly resents your success or resents you, Jay?
yes,
It's always the people that's close to you.
But how do you see that vele about fatela about
It's a friend that whenever you have something or whenever you buy something, for an example, when I buy a car and then the friend would have said, but I've seen a better one or maybe a better model of the car that you currently drive.
There's
Or
always
they
those
would
comments.
just say, instead of saying congratulations, Ntwana, you bought a dope car and whatever, say nice things, saying nice things about the car that you just bought. But now they would just come with something a bit off from what you bought, which is going to seem like it diminish whatever that you just bought.
Yes.
It makes it look like you didn't do anything. You should have done this.
There's actually these guys that have the meme kakasi life. Where one of the videos it was something of this sort. Ne? It's always nice kare mara.
Yeah.
There's always but. Haina electric windows. Yo eneki palam ina electric windows. Nice mara what's up by black. By the white eye nice. There's always a but
That's
after
how
the
you
compliment.
know who you dealing with, the kind of person that you're dealing with.
You're
So
dealing with an enemy.
that's-
That's me. That's an enemy.
Yeah,
so that's if you're lucky. But in most cases,
you can't even
they
tell.
don't show themselves. bro.
Silent moves.
In most cases, they don't show themselves. They're literally sitting and be like, yo, how come does this guy have type of vibe? It's very difficult to really find your enemy. And it's very much present in a lot of relationships and that people just don't really know of. Kilaban.
Even family.
It's
Even
even
family.
worse in
And
probably
the-
family.
And your partner
Like
as well.
one thing I've also
sometimes.
noticed in my life, I'll be hooked up by strangers, people that don't know me more than I will be hooked up by family. You know, I don't know, bro. Like it's just a messed up way of how people can really be, you know. And you sometimes look at yourself and you think, yo, you know, like I remember Vusi Tembagwai. I think you also saw that video where he was like, you look at yourself and have a person in your circle or in your life that has everything that you'll ever want, but they'll still be jealous of you.
True.
And you ask
yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
why the fuck is this person jealous of me? Because everything that he has, I'm still working towards, or I don't have.
So that video, ne? What
he
he was
further-
basically saying
yeah.
is that in the type of enemies you have is two.
Yeah,
You have one person who is below you
yeah,
and otlonyanya kapakwate with every little bit of success that you
Yeah.
get along the way.
yeah.
Ne? But the one that is not talked about is someone that has more than you
Everything
do.
that you have.
They have the
more.
accomplishments that you would try to get.
Yeah,
Maybe when I overaka taxi and you know M4 and about like M4 I driver, but he will secretly hate on you.
yeah.
For me, I don't think it's about. I think people are looking at it from a perspective, material things. I'm the way I'm looking at it is that mutual or resent because yes, only everything also maka M2 or M3 when not maka takes. Why our resent? It's not
Potential.
potential.
Yeah, it is potential.
Kenze vuse na
Yeah,
Yeah,
yethu.
that's what he said as well.
potential.
Yeah, to say it's
Wa bona
mostly
gore there's
just
something
potential.
yena a lekang mo
Yeah.
yena e wena o nang le yona.
O nang le yona,
And
true.
then money can't even buy it.
Can't even buy it. True.
How about we add a twist to it? Ne? Maybe the reason they also resent you to a certain extent is that maybe you have the innocence in you that they've lost to accumulate that money.
Yeah.
I was about to go there.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
why you find celebrities that kill themselves when they have everything.
Sure.
Gatekeepers as well. That's why you also have
you find the person
that
having
gatekeepers.
everything, but they don't have just one thing that you have,
and that is dignity and
peace
peace.
and dignity.
True.
they don't have the peace. I would say, what did they do to acquire all of those things?
Yeah, they sell their souls.
they
And
can't
once you
sleep.
sell your soul,
You know, my mother
that's
used to
over.
say that, Hore. No, ke utlwisisa ngwanaka, you want 1 2 1 2 1 2 o batlo ba bo like wa bo bona bo Beyonce and whatnot. But do you know what it took for them to get it?
She always said, "Oska ba khalla," because you don't know how they got it.
Hey, that is
Makala,
so
why they
important.
take so much drugs? Why they always drunk?
True.
And o tla
Like,
thola-
what is
They
it that
can't
they're
cope.
hiding? Yeah.
They can't cope.
and o tla thola hape, you know, let's say you that friend, and your friend is the one that made it. And then o botsa tšhomi ya gore ga o fetole nnang plug o makala gore motho ke tšhomi ya ka nnang plug kante o tla thola gore secretly wa o save gore nna the way ke ithotseng ka teng I don't want you to go to the same thing.
That's something we also don't look at.
Wena o
eh?
tlo o bona ka ntlo ga motho a se tšhomi ya ka nkwalla di-channel
Well,
kante a o tsebe.
it's very rare to get cases of that nature. You know,
You know, it does happen.
it does, but it's very rare. In most cases, get set up your ring. If I'm gonna hook up this person, they're gonna go through it the easy way. Because I'm not gonna come to my friend and be like, okay, look, ish.
Or are you saying it like gore o na le ba bang gore I had to work hard to get here, and
must
then
do
now
the
o
same.
batla nna ko kenye where
Cooking
it's going to be
easy,
easier for
yes.
you.
In most, it's very rare to find a friend trying to protect you from the mess that they had gone through and saying, "Ish, I don't want you to go through that mess." In most cases, that thing you're thinking,
You know what? I
don't wanna,
agree.
I don't wanna hook you up because I'm hiding my secret. And should ever you know how I got in, you would judge me and look at me different.
I agree and
Because
disagree.
I had to suck dick because of what the fuck I had to do type of vibe. You know what I mean? I tried it, but I'm just saying.
But that's what Neil's saying also. I'm
Yeah.
probably protecting you not for you not to suck dick.
It's very rare.
I don't think
for
it's
it to be
rare.
that way.
I think
No,
I don't think
you know
it's
what?
rare. I
For
think
a
it's
friend to
Yes, it's not.
protect
You know
in
why?
those
Ne?
cases, it's more of a friend saying, I had to work, I had to suck dick for it. Where now you want to just have me just saying, okay, here's Kapiso's name.
Mukin.
Here you are. Please hook my friend up. He wants ABC like I have right now. Let's go.
I don't think it's rare. I just
But
don't
it
think
would be
it's
the
talked
same thing
about.
that you would have to go through just like you
No.
did.
Mamela. You see, the thing is, one thing, when I hook you up, in most cases, I'm literally cutting a lot of
That's the whole point as a friend.
exactly. I'm cutting a lot of slack or journey in you getting that. That's why you get nepotism. Nepotism is practically that, to say, I'm literally cutting
Corners for you.
everything that you have to go through, studying, doing that course, whatever. I'm literally saying, okay, Kio Spani, you're starting next month. This is your paycheck. Let's go. When at that time, you literally had to sit 6 months before you got the job, trying to prepare for a job, or even 3 years, 4 years, 6 years even. On top, I'm making it way sooner. That process, you're going to go through that whole 6 years, whatever period that you need that I went through as a person, getting this particular career or this particular job, where now I'm making it way easier for you.
But what I'm saying is that what you're saying is true, ne?
Yeah.
But let's think about the other side. The friend that actually protects you from all the shitty things that are happening. Then we look at them as whatever, maybe because Kila or somewhere, I went out Kenya, went out Bora.
Yeah.
I'm nothing, and that person is like the designated driver or parent.
Yeah.
How about that? To make sure everyone is gonna get home safe. Everyone.
Okay,
You're gonna
yeah,
look
yeah,
at them Bora and
Yeah, yeah,
whatnot.
but
But
just
meanwhile,
trying
they're
to
looking
say,
out.
yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you find also in the workplace or kanyogo. Ntwana ka understand na nyogo ne.
Sure.
But when o batlo lo spina di kara, o tlo khawa Ska chuna ra ide.
True.
Ba bona illustrate nyogo ka ra ide, mara ska ya da. Then o no to bona we get a bit here. O understand that? Knowing very he's LSG na utswa di kara. And why chela don't do what I do, my
Yeah.
boy. It's not gonna work for you. Then on o kwala di channel kanti na
Until
he's
now.
looking out for you.
I think what you're saying, it does happen. It's very rare now. Maybe 10 years ago, it was very much present where our uncles and brothers who might have actually been in illegal stuff would be like, dude, geleza, yaskolong, life eke pelang no is not the life. nna ke a phanda and phanda bohloko, and I don't want this type of life for you, because it's either you're gonna make it, or you're gonna get arrested, or you're gonna get shot dead, or you're just gonna be injured type of vibe. So yeah, you do get those good people that are able to be like, hey, stop the shit.
I just said I don't think it's rare. I think it's not talked about a lot.
Okay.
But it's something that does happen.
It might be something that's not talked about a lot.
Okay.
Okay,
Because I'm thinking to myself, Hori, there's not a lot of people that can share Hori. So, and then someone told me not to get into it, because sometimes you realize later. Sometimes it's a family member that you are asking Hori, okay, because someone or and then the next thing, you sort nah.
Sure.
And then sometimes you don't get to tell that story. So you wouldn't hear about that a lot, and you would think, oh, it's not happening. It's just the story that's not being told.
Okay.
That's true. Speaking of a personal journey, before Kitola Span and all that jazz, Kokasi, Klakanel Batuba Spin and the car and all that jazz. You know what? I could probably pull what they pull. You know what? This is what's happening. I tell Inshallah, no, my boy, you don't have the heart for it. I never go shoot and beat around the bush. Nankampan kalo shadi kara, when up I kara smash, I'll get you the parts and give you the parts and whatever the case is. So, when I about to veil about share about you're not built for this. Boy, just go to school, okay, and just live a peaceful life. That's what we are built for. Because from skill, I've been in and out of prison. This is all I know.
Yeah.
A 9 to 5. It's too late for me.
That's true, because one thing I know about the kids and gangsters and the tsotsi, they didn't just start after high school. Those niggas, they started stealing from small things. Mutu ili teenager na li 10. And then khwaya mutu thing asarobala kontlung maruna li 14.
Sure.
Khwaya akena, like you hear the stories from the people like Godin Tones tshwanang le Agenda Network.
Sure.
Mutu a chayela gore no bengtshontsha starting shoplifting. From shoplifting ngahlangana nezinye ezispin ikara ngantshontsha ikara. Ngabona ukuthi lesi sizenza kancane ngahlangana nezinye ezishama heist ngangena ama heist sengidla ama million.
It starts
So
small.
you can't just start from stealing cars when you didn't start with the other stuff.
Yeah.
You're gonna get
Kingly.
caught.
Because I remember even when we were young in school, and then you'd get those kids where they steal something.
Yeah.
One of the teachers was like, "This is how you start your criminal career." And you at the time were like, "Oh, this is offensive. You shouldn't say that to a kid." I don't know. Think about it. The first time you stole something, you got away with it. You think you can do it again,
Of course.
and you do it
And
again,
again,
and it just
and it
becomes
gets
a
bigger
thing. It gets
and
bigger
bigger
because
and
now you're no
bigger.
longer stealing the pencil. Also, what look at textbook?
Yeah, you
From the
feel like-
textbook, you look at this.
You go to graduate, because one thing about those people, they always say hore. They steal the same thing over and over again up until they feel like
This is not big enough.
This is nothing.
Yeah.
It's
And
like drugs.
there's too much risk here. Then they level up up to heist. I think heist is the top kind of stealing. But they don't just start in their
But I think
20s.
those friends that we think are haters, but they're looking out for you, those are undercover angels.
Nah.
In a way, yeah.
Those are undercover angels, and we must give them
Props.
credit where it's
Yeah.
due, because
Definitely.
now
They're protecting you from cut.
we only realize once we're older, and like
Because
this one
sometimes
was
you get
looking
the selfish
after me.
ones. It'll be like, Intwana Mamela, this is what's up. Because now they're
You're that
running out of shit.
scapegoat for those
Yeah.
ones, yeah.
You get the fucking selfish and they'll be like, Intwana Mamela, this is what I'm doing. Come through, what. And they know very well, should you do it, you're going to get fucked.
And then when you get caught, they know nothing.
You get what I mean? Exactly. Yeah, but chive. So, fuck.
And the one thing, there's this other podcast that I saw of those niggas, like Karaba Dutsuko Tavern or something, or I don't know. One of the things, or one of the clips that I saw of them, this guy was talking about one thing that's guaranteed, Kadi Chomitse Utsuang, is that one day ba tlo qabantsha ke nyoko.
Sure. Ba tlhakantshitse ke yona ke.
One day ba tlo qabantsha ke nyoko. So whenever they do something, the risk is supposed to be the same.
Take the criminality out of their friendship. Ba tlhakantshitse ke. What do they
So
have?
one day, sometimes they can even kill each other.
Ba
course.
khawathana.
Yes.
But on the light of friendship, ne? Can friendship survive if one friend becomes significantly richer or more successful than the other?
It can, if the other one is not jealous.
Yeah. If I get out of if they're not,
If
they don't have
I'm
malicious
a rich
intent.
friend and I'm not bragging, and you're still my friend, and like I've made it, even though I can't really lift you up to where I am, but I'll always give you opportunities and say, Ndwana, you know what? There's someone who is on an interest so. Kinano rupa is interest so. Kinano rupa is interest so. I'm that kind of a friend. So the friendship can survive.
You
if
know,
I'm
in
not
Hupota
bragging.
Enge, I'm not sure if you guys have watched the series Adulting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
South African one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The four friends, all of them
I
are
didn't
in
watch all of
different,
it, but yeah.
different positions in life. There's
Sure.
one who's super rich. There's one who's like middle class. They're trying to make it. Then there's one not push. But they all live proper amongst each other. And reason being is that they don't like they don't make the other one feel like shit. I mean, or last week in Tenga, like how no.
And
I understand.
that's a perfect example about that show, because even when the other one has done something big or signed a contract, they become happy for that person.
They all celebrate.
And they dog with their car and say, "Yo,
They all celebrate.
Anymore, do you know?"
Ona adikolotogo, ha jealousy ona inyugu. And ona inyugu doesn't make the other ones feel like shit.
Feel like shit, true.
Overall, guys, we're going to
And
holiday.
it's very
How na stress is because one like vele sister like the other time kill elders, ne? Even when one thing in the come out here is they never had this thing here buffet to talk and say we each taking out 50, right?
yeah.
No, I want to feel my chance I have 200. Oh, I have
Exactly.
500.
Yeah.
Like abakalani.
Yeah, abakalani,
Whatever
true.
you have to contribute at that moment. Ona vela bana nyogo. Bao they step aside. But how not tell when you didn't contribute, you're not gonna drink. Kapa when I lata the ice, it's some steer out. No.
True.
We all on
And,
the equal playing field. It's just onto what you can afford
True.
at that point of time.
And that's the ideal world, and that's how it might have actually been back then. But we've lost that type of culture where we are like, okay, let's do this. And coming back to your question to say, are we able to keep friends in different, or are we able to keep friends that are at different scales to what we are at? So you are rich, I'm not so good in terms of just monetary, position. In most cases now in this world, people drift apart because of financial status. Because Kagiso is at a better position, and what does he do? He's now like, I want to roll with like people who are able to afford themselves. Yeah, he's not so moneyed. Golf and I need to get rid of this person because now he's not on that level. You know, and it just goes back to peer pressure to say, as much as you are at that level and you know very well also fairly witty, but now because so one other the brighter side of just life and shit, you just feel like, hey, let me just, stick to those that are rich. And it's not a bad thing to learn from those that are at your level, but there's nothing wrong with chilling with those that are below you as well.
So what you're saying is similar to what this guy was saying, is that when you see Gucci, you're starting to level up, is now when you're outgrowing the friends that you grew up with, but you're not at that level you'd like to be for the new set of friends that you would like to have. So you're basically like an outcast. You're just in the middle alone. Tupac has also said that he's like, now I'm too rich to go back to the hood. They're going to rob me. But then I'm too broke to be in the suburbs because they feel like I'm not on their level.
Yeah.
So Kiwani, I'm just an island on my own.
But why does it have to be like that? That's my question, and that's the
Can
same
say,
question.
you're jealousy. You find the person who has money has good intentions.
Yeah,
but
the people at the bottom, it's true. Unfortunately.
Sometimes it's not a matter of working. Sometimes, let's say I make it, ne? And then haki when I come and keep normally my friends who obviously we not on the same level. And then like you sometimes you just sit and you listen to the things they talk about. But we have a movie mentally. They're not talking about things that could build us as people. That's like I shifting off like I worked I changed my mindset. I was like, this is what I'm gonna work towards.
True.
But when I come back and sit with the same people that I grew up with, like every day, where we were all struggling together. You know, man, but we have a movie because they're not changing their mindset to make sure Horba prosper.
So that is different.
Yeah.
So
you outgrow people.
Can I just say a point? Nah?
It's different from a person that is trying. Because in some cases, you get a person with a beautiful vision, a beautiful way of doing things. However, they just don't have the momentum yet, or that start that just now gets them driving that thing until it's like a success. You get one. So there's a difference between a friend who is just not really so driven and one that is actually driven.
But you can find both in the same circle. So
yeah, you can find but two different people. Yeah.
Go adulting, ne? The rich one, Atola Medi Oliona is also of a higher class. You know what? Your friends are dragging you down. One is a serial cheater. Sugar mama. Dump all those motherfuckers. Get a new set of friends that are gonna plug you and introduce you to bigger and better things. He tried it. And you know what? Fuck this. This is not for me. You know what? This is not for me. And he apologizes like my face. I am sorry for teaching you guys. I thought maybe I can level up.
I think it also just depends,
is you can make money, but if you nganyola shisanyama, unkasi forced to go to golf for bra and eat caviar. You know, that's not you.
You know, I was listening to podcast. Yeah, who's this guy that's trending?
McG?
No, Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
So there's a clip. Yeah. Damon Wayans.
Yeah.
So he was saying, Jorge, sometimes when you level up in life, you just because you're working so hard, you end up being in circles of people that are either in your same level or higher than you.
Sure.
And the ones that are in a level higher than you, you aspire to be them or to be where they are, right? And sometimes it's not you leaving your friends. You just see yourself being surrounded by people of a higher. He was actually making an example of white people. And sometimes when you level up, you just see yourself hanging out with white people a lot because those are the people that have money. Those are the people that have opportunities for you. Those are the people that you network with a lot. So you end up looking like you're leaving your friends and you're chilling with these ones a lot. And that's because you guys can speak the same language with those people.
You know,
and just the language that you used to speak with your friends or the language that your friends are still speaking, it's not the language that you constantly in right now. So you end up looking like you're ditching them.
So that's what
you're just surrounded by these people. And
that's what Nemo was saying essentially, Hore. You and also feature a lip They just talk about groove and mokel.
I want to a positive.
And you want to talk about investments and making more money. It's not that you don't or you don't love them anymore.
The conversations are just different.
They're not leading you anywhere.
Yeah.
And you can't take that conversations and take them to people of your same social circle. Or you can't bring your friends that you grew up with and you bring the friends that are in your same stature and bring them together. The one will actually degrade you and I think
most of the time when you see people whenever they come to Kokasi and chill with their old friends, it's just a matter of them so that they can chill and drink together. They know that's the only thing that I can do with them. when it comes to maybe kitlo chilale mo too, doing nothing and having a conversation, I can't really have a conversation. That's why when you see them, bapakile di kara da kwanmiwa da kuntitswe the cam chair, the cooler box. Sometimes that's the only thing that you can do with your old friends, and it's not because you don't take them serious. It's just that their mindset, that's all they think about. Sometimes, babang, when you pull up kokasi and your house up lomada, they will just say to you, "I'll buy a bottle."
Sure.
Then you think to yourself, I mean, that's what you know. That's all you're looking for from me. Then no one will buy a bottle diploma koning outfits of our lusha details out 30 million. And then you look like autist leg. When all you know what to do is to buy them booze.
But you know, Baba Kotlas at the bottom of the ladder, and Akba we blind.
Sure.
They must know their importance. They must know their importance. Meaning, don't expect me now to be your daddy in a situation where if I'm in a higher social ladder, that I must now spoon feed you everything. Because one thing about if Lim cheater, in the position that he is all the time. Sometimes I'm forget the true ball, but what does he do with them? He fumbles them. I mean, I out here and I'm not excuse. Never never you hear those type of words.
Or those type
a lot
of times. I've also heard a lot of
even
those.
If you tell them,
but what you are saying is that you respect people from all walks of life. And that's what I was just about to say. To say, as much as you are gonna have friends from all different walks of life, those that have made it, those that are still trying to make it, those that have not made it, and those that you know, not even that you know, but those that will probably never make it. But like, life is life, bro. Like, I'm one person that really believes in like destiny. To say, I've seen a lot of brilliant cats, brilliant guys, like people who have gone too far. It's like geniuses who are literally geniuses. They've got the degrees, they've got everything to put them in the best job and have their fucking careers or their lives ignite. However, that just does not materialize. And it's just unfortunate because you don't know what is the block. So it's more of that thing. You're already thinking that person is currently, when you look at him, you look cleaner than them. You probably present yourself better than them simply because of just maybe how clean you look, how you present yourself, how you might maybe also just talk. But they've got bigger, larger knowledge.
Can I ask this question?
You do.
It comes in addition to what you're saying. Ne?
Mm-hmm.
It will sound a bit fucked up as well. Ne? All three of us are boys. Ne? LSG is the brainy of the group. Ne? Is it fair for him to expect we put him up the ladder when he had the same opportunity that we had? I'll give context to that. I come with an idea. Here's a business idea. Let's say Starbucks before it becomes Starbucks. How about we do coffee? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You buy into the idea. LSG's like, nah. And he's the brainy one of us, three of us. He's like, nah, I don't see it popping. I don't see it becoming the in thing. I'm going to safeguard my money. We blow up. We make fucking bank. We make money. Is it fair for LSG now to feel like we owe him some sort of, for lack of better words, loyalty for him to bring him up? Whereas he had the same opportunity, but he wasn't willing to take the risk with us.
No,
there isn't.
You can't expect you guys to.
That's true. I agree as well.
It will be very selfish of him to do that.
Exactly, and if you think about it, LSG had a perfect chance to join the thingy, and he didn't because maybe or something. And once something has worked out, I need to understand also my position as LSG. Okay, these niggas actually they are the people that they think they are. Because I'm thinking to myself, if maybe I thought the business idea was not going to work and it actually works, now I need to understand where I am. Now you guys are big dogs, so gonna. The next time I approach you, it's going to be me. I can't expect you to say, okay, here your share as well, because you are a boy. Even though I didn't buy into the idea, it doesn't make sense.
You know why I'm posing the question? In a friend group where the one is bitter and jealous, most likely wasn't willing to take the risk like the other ones did.
Yeah.
And it's their decision. I can't.
But what I'm saying is that why Atokwata, whereas he was given the opportunity.
Yeah.
Who feel like entitled just because we are friends.
That's where the problem is now. Why do you feel entitled? The hard work.
It might be a dynamic of
there's use and abuse, and as soon as it becomes abuse, then it's like just totally wrong. And the abuse part is obviously entitlement. And entitlement can become a little fucked up. It goes with family. To say sometimes you feel like, okay, or people feel like, okay, because we are family, I expect you to do A, B, C. Whereas that's not really supposed to be the case. That's why I get it. I think this conversation, there's like, it is a bit of a twist to say there's two parts of it, and both parts may sound a bit relevant to say, okay, you are saying no, you are saying yes, you both have valid points type of vibe.
Because at least you could have gave his reasons why he thinks this idea won't work, which is fine.
That's why I'm saying.
But we took the risk.
He might have a valid reason why he said no, because he felt like it does not sound like it will pop. But as soon as it pops, he should not feel like, give me my shares.
Then it will just tell you
on the
as a
give me my
person
shares part.
It will tell you.
It should be up to you as his friends to say, are you?
In that situation,
bring him in or not.
It will give you clarity on who Lesotho is and who he thought he was.
You know why I posed the question, eh? Last week, Nick Shebile, this other bodybuilder guy, I forgot his name. His neighbor, ne, at that point of time, is the guy who founded Starbucks. And in Nakoba Blom and having lunch, actually, I have a business proposal. Why don't you invest into 1212? I'm thinking about opening a coffee, what. I'll tell coffee, can I go before coffee was the end thing? I don't know, fuck that. No. Only to found it at Starbucks. What is it worth now? And on the same light, also one of the, I won't say founders, but I'll just say investors, for lack of better word, go Apple. Sold his shares, I think, for about 200 grand. 10 years later, it was worth billions. Does he now jealous about Steve Jobs and the other people that held onto their shares because he felt like it wasn't going anywhere? Because the reason I say that, a lot of friends feel very much entitled. From scratch. When I see but meanwhile, is that every business proposal that I had, I ran it through you first.
Yeah.
And either you disapproved of it or you didn't see it making it. And I went elsewhere.
Yeah.
And dog. But when in that situation, the only thing that you can do, as the person never believed in the idea, recoupe span. Recoupe span, retla span, ulo span ada ko Starbucks.
I think
the resentment will start there.
Honestly speaking,
I don't even be worse.
The resentment will start there.
That's not even worse. Honestly speaking, but there's very few people
from inside.
There's very few people who are able to do what he just said he will be doing in a position like that. Go chale pruaka. And like, I'm also not speaking from like a place of saying people should be entitled there. But one thing I've noticed in the black community, black culture, black people, we tend to hate it on each other, bro. And I'm sorry, but I have to say this. I've seen other tribes, not tribes, but races play in the money world, and they play totally different from how black people do. There's a guy on TikTok, can't remember his name, but he looks like he's like very well off, ne? He looks like he's okay, monyogung. Money is proper with it wherever he is in life. And I remember there was a time, and I think I mentioned in the last episode as well, where he was like, it was a video being recorded of him, and he's like, this is my friend, and this is who I am, this is where I am, and I'm going to carry this guy into wealth, because and honestly speaking, that's how a lot of other races actually do it, and that's why they prosper. That's why you see less and less of them in poverty-stricken conditions.
The mindset is different there.
It's not that the mindset is different.
It's different.
I disagree.
You can't carry someone into a world that doesn't want to be carried.
But that's I know.
And
I know. You can't take a donkey or a horse to a well and have it force it drink. Yeah. I understand that.
The
but
mindset is different.
Not necessarily, bro.
It is.
I know. No, I disagree.
As Batsuba limits it, dog.
Relemetse, mara, from that whole the fact that you know relemetse, then that means you've got a totally different mental capacity that is able to understand.
As a horse, if you don't want to drink from that well, I know it's not because you don't want to drink, it's your mindset.
Hit this horse, man. Hit this fucking horse so it drinks that shit. I'm just saying. But honestly speaking, like, from jokes aside, but you know this, Kagiso, as well. And we talk about this very often. To say, one thing we've realized in the black culture is that we don't want to hook each other up. You know how many black guys, black people in heavy duty spaces that are able to hook you up? Do they hook you up?
Even the ones that don't want to hook others up.
You are willing to fucking work for it.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Now let's use an analogy. As much
That's
as
like
my man,
there's two sides to it.
There's always two sides to a coin. Ne? You as a person who I'm asking Khoiti for a favor and he doesn't hook me up. I feel Khoiti is a bitch nigga. He doesn't want to hook me up because of 1, 2, 3. But what if Khoiti is saying is that I have so many chances or moves to make. I'm not going to waste it on Kagiso because Kagiso is not pulling in the work that he pulls in. My man.
It's different.
My man. As we're saying, there's two sides of the coin. What you'll be disagreeing with is the other side of the coin. But this side of the coin is that what people always feel is that their work is more than enough to make it through. You understand? You find Khoitika 8 every evening he sleeps. Now meanwhile I'm burning the midnight oil. Yeah. I'm burning the midnight oil Gaspan.
Yeah.
Then when I make it, Khoiti feels like his work is worthy enough for him to ask me a favor, for me to put him on the same par that I'm on.
Okay.
Or for him to use my favors to plug him in.
Yeah.
Now okay, I'm gonna introduce you to my higher up social circle. If you fuck it up, you're fucking up my image as well.
Exactly.
True.
Sometimes you try and pull up people, and sometimes before you give them an opportunity, you want them to prove to you actually
are you able to.
Sometimes when someone comes with an idea and says, "Kinali a business idea, I think we can do this," and finance that idea, and we push it for the next 6 months. I'll see who you're serious about it. Utoring or Wangkwal.
Sure. He doesn't want to put in the work.
You've got the money to finance this thing for me, but you want me to go and ponder the money. It means you're not serious.
But that's why
you just want me to.
You guys
give you money.
Are talking about a specific type of individual.
You know what I say?
And that's very relevant as well. I'm not disregarding what you're saying.
Okay.
You do get those types of people as well. And I totally agree to say, yes, you can't want to feed off somebody else's hard work. You can't want to now all of a sudden you went out and you fucking starved for your degree, you did ABC or whatever, degree or business, whatever it is that got you to where you are now as a rich oak. Nah? And now all of a sudden, this particular person just wants to come through and be like, hey, I'm entitled to this shit. Let's go.
Let me do this.
There's two different types of
mentors. Mentors will mentor you for a good 10 years before they plug you.
Preparation.
That's where saying, hey, about Khotman. Khotman, handle, that's what that is. It's a mentor kakasi language. A mentor will mentor you for a good 10 years before they plug you, before they see you are worthy already. Let's use Maporisa, for example. People seem like he's a gatekeeper. But how long was he behind the scenes before he became Maporisa?
The other example of the thing is that
Castaño vest also.
the other example of that thing is that there's a reason why, because you can't just plug anyone in, right? There's a reason why on shows like your Dragon's Den, you need to have proven how your business idea works.
It's gonna fucking surface.
That's why they're asking you about the sales, revenue, profits.
How long?
How long have you been doing it? Then they know how actually there's a market for this thing.
So
you can't just come with a piece of paper and say,
I think the fucked up
this
thing
the
is with
idea.
friendship, they use emotion more than logic itself.
Yeah, but as a friend, you must also just be able to weigh your friends'
Oh, mamela.
psych,
Remember,
friendship or
friendship is that
psychological.
now what brought me and you
Strength.
together as friends is because of groove. Why am I now going to change our friendship dynamic and I'm
From-
going to
yeah.
put you in business?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay.
The whole point
That
of
is
us being
actually
friends is
crazy.
because when we groove, we have a nice time.
Yeah.
Why not keep it at that? Why now? Because I'm making paper, you want to change business from groove, our friendship from groove to business. Then you're fucking up the business dynamics. There's some friends where we only link up because of business. I'm not going to go to Groovely LSG because not LSG, we only talk about money.
Business, yeah.
Then Nalo and Takana, we only talk about groove.
Yeah.
Why am I now going to mix the two together? Because now you feel the need, you want to have money, then you feel like I'm the pedestal for that. No way your position is in my life.
But you see,
Don't put me in an awkward position.
this is what I'm referring to say
Okay, let's use
a plug.
Mamel.
When you say a plug,
Mamel. Let's use
It's
soccer
more
as an
of-
analogy.
that's who?
Soccer.
Okay.
Know how because you as a striker, middle field, you're working overtime, or you're running up, down, then you're gonna change position because you're tired. You can't. They'll rather substitute you back in someone else.
Exactly. You can't say Singbatuloko.
No goalkeeper. Goalkeeper has pani, no hinning matter. You can't do that shit, dog.
True, guys.
So if you're tired, coach. I'm not able to
up.
keep up.
True.
Substitute me.
True. But that's what get
Know your position.
No.
Pep Guardiola.
You know what I'm
For
saying?
him to be one of the best coaches, there was a time where Barcelona was playing a match. Henry scored the winning goal. He moved from the left winger, I got the right because the soccer, the position was 80% on the right. And he felt like he wasn't getting position. He moved to the right and he got possession and he scored. Pep Aron, you went out of your position and he substituted him. Second half.
But he said he scored.
It doesn't matter.
Was kind of
My
doesn't
man.
matter. Hey, man, now. Yeah.
Mamela. Nigga had a game plan. He's leaving the
He
left
knows
side
what he's doing.
exposed. He's leaving the left side exposed.
But do you see that?
Mamela,
Okay.
wache bietjie my broer. He's leaving the left side exposed. If they counter-attacked on the left side, the team would be fucked.
True.
It's that thing, Hori. Why on your conditions or on your terms?
You want to make shit happen.
must change.
Yeah, I understand. But do you see the potential that it brought? He scored.
But he knows what he was doing. The coach. Stay there.
Yes, the coach wanted him to be on that other
Okay.
side. But he decided,
Okay. Let's use your analogy here. Khoitsi. Johan has a nice fat ass.
Shit.
And-
I know, what the
and-
fuck, guys? Why the
My
fuck do you want
man.
to make that
That's the
example?
only language.
And there's a
that you can
guy.
get.
Fuck you.
And there's a guy who
Sorry,
can get you a
this
movie
guy.
role.
This guy.
Who can get you a movie role.
But he wants to
you
fuck my wife.
Yeah.
Fuck that
And
shit.
your wife is like, baby, I did it for us.
Nah, bruh. You know,
This is for us
speaking, now that
between
you-
us.
Why is it changing now? Because
Now
of the
that you-
soccer.
now that you
because
say
of the
that-
soccer.
Now
Fuck
that you
shit.
said that, you know, I once dated a girl that was literally like, dude, I would literally do anything to just get you wherever you want to be. And for me, it was like, hey, nah, fuck that shit, dog.
Exactly.
Fuck that shit. Mara, back to the matter
Did
at
it not
fucking
come with
hand.
a positive?
It did come with a positive, but
You would get the
no.
fucking role.
And they will be
Man,
set financially.
mamela, guys. There's a difference.
Wait, where's the difference?
Sekich or mamela. Fine. This is a person who is mamela. It's all about plug, bro. You know,
She's got the plug.
I've seen, okay, but that's a fucking terrible example, bro.
It's not. It's
Nah,
a realistic
shitty
example,
bro.
dog.
Like, I'm giving you all the examples that are just literally at like fucking surface fucking level. You guys want to go fucking underground? Come on, guys. Why you want to like, you know, put me in that position? What I'm just trying to say, guys, is that, and okay, maybe not from my perspective. I'm just looking at it from like a plug vibe to say, from what I've witnessed, né, from what I've seen people cry about as well in my space, né, that's why I told you about people who are hard workers, who are literally not getting what they deserve. It's not about just laziness. That's Luna, you guys are looking at it from like a laziness perspective to say, okay, these are people who just don't want to do anything. They just relax, they just chill about what they fucking do. They're just taking life as it comes, type of vibe. But I'm talking about people who I see, bro. That's why I made that example to say, I've seen people who are like literally degree, dog. People who have the qualifications, people who have the hard work.
Those
No,
people.
but that's what I'm saying is that they're not
don't-
willing to take risks. One thing about educated people, né, they prefer 9 to 5 over entrepreneurship because they're not willing to take the risk.
Yeah.
When I hear sawakeleza, but how many you put your money on the line, you put your dignity on the line. One thing about entrepreneurship, bro, you're gonna be embarrassed more often
yeah,
than.
true.
Bona they
yeah.
have banana suit, banana tie.
You're a hustler, yeah, you're a
Batokova house at Anyogo. But you also weigh your options. Okay, fine. Go to the LSG, unided degree, but Hakim Blaga, what is he contributing besides his degrees? Honestly, there's some people, ne, as hard as fucked up as it might sound, they're built to be employees. They cannot be more than that. They are built to be employees. They are built to be told what to do, when to do it, how to do it.
Sure.
You just come in here with your expertise that you got from university and you apply that on whatever I've hired you to do. But they're not hired for them to make decisions on their own. Even their parents even know, if I leave you at the house, you're gonna do a house party the next day. I need to get someone. I need to bring your cousin
neighbor,
from the Bundus, even though you are present, because they know they can't even trust you as their own child.
Practically.
Why me as a stranger? I should now trust you with my livelihood.
That's why I get it. You know, hey guys, we'll go on forever. I'm gonna try. Like I've got the points to defend this, and what I was just trying to paint here is that I think we as just the black culture, the black people, just don't plug each other the way we are. Probably
Definitely.
and that's where I'm driving. And yes, what you are saying is also valid. I'm not taking away from what you're saying. There are people that are just like, just give me. It's fine, just give me. Then you get the guys that are just not really where they need to be. But if you had to give them, they'll do the best of it. Type of vibe. So we can't necessarily generalize. But Rona, in
Those
our
guys,
culture.
what have they done?
Okay.
We given.
My man. It's not about just giving. Other tribes, cultures, races can do it without necessarily asking that question.
The
To say,
mindset is different.
that's why they're succeeding.
Yeah.
That's
What
all-
limits?
Limits, then why what are limits are further?
No, but
Koiti,
dog,
okay,
what
let
have
me ask you
done?
this question. Ne? The driver G class, it's about 4 or 5 million. Ne? I'm running a podcast. Let's say that's my mainstream of income. Then when dog, I'm told let's plan it up podcasting out. My budget is about 10 grand a month. You're a graduate. are you gonna grab that 10 grand?
Hey, if I'm a graduate, I don't have a job, I'll definitely grab it.
But what I'm saying is that, on average, people feel like, you know, the mpinche is wrong, ne? Mpinche sheba, okay, we're not drive a car 5 meter. I could probably get Boma 30 grand from your podcast. Why me as a graduate?
I'm not
graduate.
looking at it
I'm
from
starting.
that perspective.
But that's what I mean, Nuri.
I'm not looking at it from that perspective. I'm all about building. I'm all about building.
The
I don't
reason
give
you
a
can't
shit.
mix friends, family, and money is because
There's
feel
entitlement.
Yes.
I understand that part, but I'm not talking about it from that perspective. And I'm talking about it from, dude, I'm starving. I'm asking you to help me out. You know what I mean? It's not that thing you're okay, like I want to be. I don't give a fuck where you're at. Now that's why I'm looking at it. To say, I don't give a fuck where you're at. I'm starving. You are able to hook me up, hook me up. If you're earning fucking 200,000 a month in your bank every month, and you are able to, or you are only able to afford to pay me 5,000, let it go.
You see, on the analogy I'm speaking of, ne?
That's why I get it. And you know one thing about what Kagiso is saying. There was a time when Kagiso was like, yeah, people are people. Yeah, people are not gonna like help you. And I was like, you know why I've got this mentality that I'm also saying to him? It's because there's a lot of people that I have helped without either expecting anything in return, or it's just that thing you're thinking, I'll plug you. Why? Because I know that there is that opportunity. So I'll hook you up. How you deal with it, it's you.
There was this.
That's what I'm fighting right now.
There was this.
That's none of my business. If you come to me and you're like, Witty, I need a fucking job. Are you able to hook me up? I'll be like, let me look at the people I know. I know Kagiso, I know Neo. I'll ask them if in my workspace there's no opportunity for me to present you with, then I'll ask my people. And if they're able to hook you up, then I'll be like, okay, please hook him up. I don't give a fuck. But the fact that I was able to help you, that's where I'm coming from. But sorry, yeah, let's wrap it up.
Before we wrap it up, I should be a video in where this Mafian guy, when he was being interviewed, you know that guy that likes to go around the world, hey, sir, what do you do for a living? How do you, so he was interviewing that guy. And it's like, you know, basically I was saying, back then, what, out 4 grand per week just to collect the nyogutaka from the people that owe me. Yeah, I understand. And he saw the amount of money that was being delivered to me on an envelope. Remember, all he's just doing is just collecting. He's not doing anything else. And he came to me. This is what he's saying. I'm speaking as first person. He came to me and he says, I think I need a raise. That time, 4 grand, how much is it back in the 80s, Joe? Yes. Just to collect money. He's not doing much. He's just going to shop 1, 2, 3 to collect money. And he said he fired him on the spot. He's like, why do you feel like you need a raise? Just because you're comparing it to what I'm getting.
Yeah. You don't know what I had to.
And already I'm giving you triple what the market base is giving you.
Practically.
So what I'm saying is that family and friends, that's why it's difficult to mix both of them together, is that there's that entitlement to, if we're not $1 million a month and I'm getting 10 grand a month, why am I not getting 30 at least?
That's what's now making you feel the way you feel. Now I'm talking about it from a perspective of absolute fairness, without entitlement, without feeling like he needs to earn the same amount of money that I'm earning because I'm hooking him up.
But realistically, G, you know what I'm saying holds weight. For example, if Kiribafetu, let's go on a holiday at Cape Town, you're going to feel like I'm being unfair. But if I go with my rich friends to Cape Town, you will still feel like I'm being unfair.
There's no win.
There's no win for a person who has money if I'm suggesting something that requires money to be spent. You're going to feel like I have money. Why don't I pay for you to go on that Cape Town trip? But then if I'm paying for my whole social circle that I grew up with, how much am I spending? So for example, if I go to a club and I buy 3 bottles, let's say it's about $2,000. For you, you'd feel like, if Ralwana, for you, it's just worth 3 klipa. But I just spent $2,000 because I'm catering for everyone.
Look,
where does it end for me now to spoon feed everyone in my social circle? Why should I suffer that I blew up first before everyone else?
That's when you need to take a step back, fall back a little bit, because now those things, they also tell you what type of friends you have, especially when you make it. Literally on the same level, there was no arguments like this. Then all of a sudden I make it, there's this argument where, okay, ke tla fa 3 klipa ha whereas ke se chelteng at kg acho, which means that friend the whole time u feel le gore it's again kg maybe u flex such a time and I don't need his money. I don't want him to think that I need his money, so I'm gonna give him whatever, however chelten I keep feeling gore we spend the money. I understand. So that's, for me, it shows me hore I moto handla I don't feel the way I don't feel like a thing. So I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna fall back.
Let's put money aside. Né? I had this friend, because now I have, at that point of time, I had more female friends than male friends.
You're a charro anyway.
Aye.
Let's go.
So this guy felt or caught feelings with one of the female friends. I'm shared. Girl, nah, akida, kawena. We're just friends. So chill a bit, my nigga. Guy got pissed. Oh, because nah, KG. Hey. Bear in mind, there's no money here involved. He comes from a more privileged background than I do.
Yeah.
But girl, hang child, dude. This is the type of people you hang out with. Guy wang share I know wang lonsa because yena haswe and in. So meaning there's underlying jealousy and all that shit.
It goes back to that question that we had, Hore, when do you see if a friend has resentment for you? That's to tell those little things.
Understand that. So now it ends up boiling to that. Never mind money aside, because money, that's about the money is the root of all evil. It just takes out the true personality of someone.
Practically.
So if money is not involved, then you're already feeling this way. What would be of us if money was involved?
Hey.
Those are the kind of friends that can kill you.
True.
Nah, that's true. That's fucking true.
But be that as it may, my guys, we can wrap it up and we can
Wrap it up.
But just to say what the thing that you've been fighting for, I understand.
I'm not fighting for it. I'm just
he's fighting for it.
I'm just
if you
holding
could,
I'm just holding a different perspective.
My man,
and it's needed by the street squad, right? Street squad.
Not street squad, dogs.
Sweet squad.
I said street squad.
Just sweet.
But nigga, it's the
Did I say? I don't say sweet guys.
You go loco, my dog.
At least you know me. I'm just glad you know me. These guys will sell me.
Mamela, now I understand where you are coming from with that thing. There's a lot of people that deserve opportunities, but just because you deserve it, it doesn't mean it needs to be given to you. Sometimes you make your own opportunities.
It's fine.
Sometimes I need to see your seriousness by you doing something. Okay, this guy deserves an opportunity.
True.
You know, by watching what Dragons stand, sometimes you hear those people, the investors, those business people, they say, I don't think this product can sell, but I like you. I like your drive. You've got that thing.
And they invest.
You're telling me that you started 5 businesses before. And just by that, I'm buying into you. So we're going to
there was one good Dragons then where this guy's like, you know what? I'm going to invest in your business. And then because what you've learned, I'd like you to meet up with my daughters and you teach them what you have learned over the years. So I'm buying into your ideas so you can teach my daughters.
So, mfana, ukaba son and everything, but what have you done?
That's why, guys. If I had to defend this further, we'll never stop. It's fine.
I understand.
It's 2 against 1.
Close it there.
Neo's on the on the middle side.
10 you want.
Never didn't comment, it's fine. Street squad. Nah, slice that nix. Fede, neklo mara fede. Akatla. So it's fine. Street Squad, thank you very much for tuning in. You are watching Global Streetz Live every day, every then and again. We are always going to be running in the streets for you, for us, and we are
Out of here.